Hey everyone, Flint Truth Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys are staying in the Word, the King James Bible. Hope you guys are just sharpening that relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And you do that again by staying in the Word. Gonna talk about this charlatan, this devil, Bryan Denlinger. And before I even get started, I'm gonna address the comments that people who come on my page and say, "Man, another Bryan Denlinger video? You're obsessed with that guy." Which couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is that I'm called to expose this man. And I am asked by my, I guess you call them subscribers, the people that benefit from the videos that I make. And they asked me to expose this man. And not only have I asked them specifically, like, hey, you know, what type of videos do you guys want me to make? Do you guys want me to do, you know, the kind like I was doing before with the music in the background and then just showing pictures with like scriptures and showing like, you know, connecting the dots? Or do you like it where I actually speak over, you know, and explain and talk and show you guys things? And people said, you know, hey, we prefer the videos where you talk over, you know, over the videos with music. We prefer the videos about, you know, exposing Bryan Denlinger and other such charlatans, you know, rather than, you know, whether Andy Griffith was a Freemason or not, you know, things like that. So I'm not only asked to by, you know, the people, the body of Christ, but the Lord asked me, you know, and we are called to expose these wolves in sheep's clothing, you know. This guy, it's a double whammy because he's not only sending people to hell with his teachings scripturally, he's sending people to hell and he's also taking their money, which is a double whammy. He's not only sending you to hell, but he's also conning you and taking your money. So it doesn't get much worse than that. Going to start off with the King James version, of course, but the Psalms 101, chapter 101, verse right down here. Verse 3, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A frown heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and proud heart, Bryan Denlinger, will not I suffer. And again, not only have my subscribers and followers asked me to make videos on Bryan Denlinger, according to the videos that I put out, my #1 watched videos are the videos exposing Bryan Denlinger. So it's a clear conclusion that people want me on my channel to expose this man. So that's what I'm doing. There is no obsession with this man. I could care less about this man. Basically what happens is, throughout all the comments that I get throughout the day and stuff, people come and say, hey, are you aware of this? You know, leave me comments. Are you aware that, you know, Bryan Denlinger said this in this video at this time? And then I'll go look it up and I'll be like, sure enough, what a devil. And then I'll make a video on it. So it's not like I'm just obsessed looking through all of his stuff trying to, no. People come to me and say, hey, go watch this video. Bryan Denlinger talking about the tongues, you know, and he's got a witch, you know, the danger of tongues, and he's talking about how he bought this witchcraft book and blah 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 blah, which is what I'm going to expose today. And again, this man claimed,
when they're deep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to start the video yet, but that's what this man's going to claim. He's going to claim, and again, before we get started, you cannot be a born again barbarian. Okay, you're either born again or you are a barbarian. Just like you can't be a sovereign citizen. You are either sovereign or you are a citizen. You cannot be both. It's an oxymoron. Just like a born-again barbarian. You cannot be a saved savage. Okay? It's not the way that it works. You cannot be a born-again devil. That's not the way it works. Okay? Bryan Denlinger's name exposes himself in the name alone. Anyways, so let's go to this next verse. And this, of course, I'll start at the top so you guys can see. It's 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. Actually, we'll start at 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. And 22, abstain from all appearances of evil. So that's right there. And then verse 3 of Psalms 101, I will set no wicked things before thine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. Now, what is the point of this? You're asking, why am I showing you these verses? Because I'm going to play you a video by Bryan Denlinger where, of course, he's got another witchcraft book in his collection where he's going to claim that he was convicted, and so he threw the book out. However, he made a bunch of photocopies of the whole book. Like, give me a break. And again, it's not just any book. Of course, it's the Wikipedia or whatever, the Encyclopedia, of witchcraft. So I'm going to show you guys that. He's going to say that he bought and, the Lord convicted him and he threw it out. Yeah, right. But the funny part about it, too, is why isn't none of these videos on Bryan Denlinger's channel? Why are they all on Gabriel's channel or Megaside84's channel? They're all on other channels that upload strictly, basically Bryan Denlinger, pro Bryan Denlinger videos. Not strictly, that's all they upload is pro Bryan Denlinger videos. Nothing, saying, hey, what about this? What about that? Just all pro Bryan Denlinger. And Bryan Denlinger felt the need to remove all those videos from his own collection, which I find very peculiar.
All right, I want to do a quick little video here on the subject of speaking in tongues, kind of as an add-on to the video there that Brother Mac put out, Random 331. And here, a couple years back,
He's going to tell you, a couple years back, he had this witchcraft book, and again, he photocopied all the pages. What a devil.
A copy of this thing here,
Look at it. The Encyclopedia of Witches and Witchcraft. Basically, all that you'd want to know about sorcery, the occult, witchcraft, devil worship, Satanism, the occult, Luciferianism, all things that are condemned in the Bible. Of course, Bryan Denlinger is all apart because Bryan Denlinger is a secret devil. His wife is a witch. And not only a witch, but she is a gender confused witch. Like she said, her whole life growing up, she, thought she was a man and blah, 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 blah. His wife has got so many, there's so many red flags with his wife. I mean, it's just off the charts. Like, it breaks the gauges. It's so off the charts, okay? Bryan Denlinger is just as bad, but it's not as obvious. He's a little bit more cunning. He's a little bit more better at disguising it. He doesn't come straight out and open and wear the witch's triquetra on certain dresses and stuff like that, like his wife does. Nevertheless, he's still just out in the open. He just is more cunning about it.
His book, this is an encyclopedia put out by witches. It's not written by Christians about witches or something. It's
right there. It's not written by Christians exposing this book, which, again, we shouldn't be buying this book to expose it anyways. It's the devil. It's satanic. Why would we buy a witchcraft book to expose it? It makes no sense. We're supposed to abstain and have nothing to do with this stuff. Not even to expose it.
An actual witchcraft book.
Yep, actual witchcraft
and
book.
I had it for a little while, and the Lord kind of convicted me and said, you shouldn't have that thing in your...
The Lord kind of convicted me. Not the Lord convicted me. Kind of. He had to throw that in there, again, because it's all about his Jesuitical sophistry, guys. It's all about just like with the born-again barbarian, okay? He likes to lie to you, right? He likes to double talk to you. And the sad part is most people don't have discernment. Most people don't have a long enough attention span. Most people don't even remember what this man said from video to video, so he can get away with lying video to video because most people won't call him out. Now, of course, there's certain people that'll say, hey, what about this? You said this in your last video, which it contradicts something you said 2-3 years ago. And that's how Bryan does. Almost every video or every other video contradicts something that he said before, and then, like a liar, you got to come and say 5,000 more lies to cover up the one lie that you were told originally. And that's how Bryan is, because it all started on a couple, lies in the beginning, and then boom, 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 it snowballed. And now you have what you have today, which is, and again, Bryan Denlinger does not have 50,000 subscribers, so don't think that he's fooling 50,000 people, okay? Yes, he's fooling thousands of people, but a lot of his subscribers are bought. I would say he probably has anywhere between 5 to 15, maybe even 20,000 actual true subscribers. And you can tell this because his videos don't get more than average of 1,500 views to under 10,000 views, okay? And that's, a lot of people who click his stuff aren't subscribed, people that are, exposing them, people that are just coming and going, people that don't even like him, that just want to see what he's putting out there. So not all those are his subscribers, and he can't even get 10,000 views. So that ought to tell you, and like I said, the people that he's connected with, the words that come out of his mouth, I mean, yada, yada, yada. I could go on and on, but people are either going to see this man for who he truly is. It's just like when he made that video, and like I said, he's a Jesuit. He's a closet Jesuit, and he follows their orders. You know, the order of the Jesuit who started it, the Loyola guy. His number one goal was to destroy anybody that taught faith alone, that you are saved by faith alone. That's heresy, and nobody can be saved by faith alone, or by faith through grace. Nobody. It's obviously got to be works and blah 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 blah, and attached to that and involved with that. Okay, that's the same thing the Jesuits teach. What does Bryan teach? Right? He even made a video. You are not saved by faith alone, which we all know we are saved by grace through faith. Right? It's common sense. The Bible says that it's not done by works, least any man should boast. But again, that's going off topic. This man's a devil, and he's a Jesuit.
Collection, so I got rid of it, but I did photo scan some of
Which I find it very odd that his wife and her whole family are Jesuits and connected Masons, and supposedly that she got away from all that and she's not involved in that anymore, and yada yada yada. And that just doesn't happen, folks. And it's not that I'm saying that someone can't get saved, but when you turn yourself over to a reprobate mind, the odds of getting saved are very, go down dramatically. And those people that get turned over to a reprobate mind and they become government puppets and government slaves, and they become these Satanists and these Jesuits and all these occultists and Masons. Okay, once you start going down those paths, yes, you can get saved. The blood of Christ is good enough for any man, obviously. Any man or woman. But the odds of it are slim, very, very slim. I'm not going to say none, but they're pretty much slim to none. So when people get on here and they start trying to, defend Kathleen Kusera, which is get the KK, right? The duality. Imagine that. When they try to, defend her, saying, "Oh, that's her past, and she's, not involved in that anymore, and that we should, not hold that against her and not mention that's her past, and blah blah blah," and all that's a bunch of crap. Because again, the government is very good at what it does. The government just doesn't let anybody get security clearances and make it to the top and do this and do that. Okay, those people are very well vetted. The family members are very well vetted. And they have a pretty good idea that those people are not going to turn, okay? This woman got all these certificates and this is the thing about Bryan Denlinger, how he lies. He's like, we said she might have been involved in the CIA. We said she might have been involved in the Masons and there's a lot of she might. And then it's total lie, because he comes out and shows the video that I've exposed. He shows the video certificates of her completing in the FBI training and CIA training and all these trainings. Internet. She's got all these. Basically, what she did was she would scroll through the internets and stuff like that, and she gathered data and whatnot, and she was very smart, very high up, had a lot of clearances, a lot of awards and stuff that she's not even willing to show. If they were truly born again and saved, she would show everything. Look, this is all the crap, evil, craziness I was a part of. Can you believe the Lord saved me from that? And they would show it all. Instead, they're real particular what they show. They don't want to show this. They don't want to show that. Everything's carefully, orchestrated. He doesn't do any sermons at all. His sermons are crap. Clickbait material. It's not real. There's not real substance there where you can really learn. Now, in the beginning, Bryan's channel was great. You could learn a lot from Bryan. When his wife got introduced, though, things started changing. Okay? She took over with her witchcraft. And I believe Bryan, his whole family is involved in the cult and witchcraft and Jewish mysticism and whatnot. It started with his dad. Then it trickled down to his brothers. And again, I've proved this in videos. His dad supposedly was, a famous baseball player or some softball player or some crap. And right in his obituary, they said that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame after 33 years. The Freemasonic code. And he owned a ambulance company. All this stuff. Red flags. Worked for the fire department. Worked for the government. Just all this type of stuff. Absolutely. Which I screenshotted a response that Bryan Denlinger said to somebody about all the stuff that his dad was involved in, and that right there people should be scratching their heads. He pushes the whole satanic blue marble You know, the whole we're spinning on a globe ball. And again, don't get me mixed in with the flat earth, because Bryan Denlinger tried to misquote me and say that I'm a flat earther, and I'm not a flat earther, and I make that very clear that I believe both are a lie. I believe that the whole earth is flat is a lie, and I believe that the whole is round is a lie. Now, do I believe that it's a plane? Yes. What is a plane? A plane is a hilly, mountainy, grassy terrain area. You know, what do we got? We got hills, mountains, you know, valleys, peaks, you know, all this stuff. That's what we live on. We live on a plane, okay? But to say that it's flat or to say that it's round or put a shape to it, I'm not going to do that because I don't know. I've never seen the shape of the earth. So I'm not going to say what shape it is. I'm not going to push the satanic lie of the ball earth, okay? And I'm not going to push the whole flat earth thing because I think that's a CIA mind control operative too. I believe that you know, like I said, the devil it plays both sides, okay? That's why there's only right and left. That's why there's only Democrat or Republican, okay? That's why there's not any more choices, okay? There's left and right. They control them both, and you have to pick one of the two, okay? And they control them both, and that's the thing. So it doesn't matter who you pick.
Pages from it. And I thought this was very interesting here. It says, in modern Christian worship, the Pentecostal movement has revived interest in speaking in tongues.
Bryan had to buy these books so that way he could, you know how to sell it better. You know, how can I be a devil worshiper, a Satanist, and sell that I'm a Christian?
An ecstatic communion with God. And I'm not going to read all this for sake of time. You can pause it and read it yourself. But it goes on down here to say, the congregation considered those who received the Spirit as blessed, much like the worshipers doing a voodooing rite, voodoo essentially. Praise those who have been mounted by a god. And that's exactly what they do. When they're demon-possessed in voodoo rituals, they say, oh, they've been mounted by a god. Of course, lowercase g. It's a devil is what it is. And but it says here, earlier critics of such worship would have found the participants possessed. The largest group of Pentecostals in the United States is the Assemblies of God, with thousands of members worldwide. That's page 206 of the Witches Encyclopedia. Here on page 319, it talks about the Louvre's possessions, and it talks about a case of mass demonic possession. And I apologize for some of this stuff in here because...
Yeah, you apologize for it, even though you know what you're trying to do. You're trying to push Satanism. You're trying to break up the word. You're trying to break up true Bible believers. You're trying to divide and conquer. You are Satan's. You are one of Satan's servants, unfortunately, and it's sad because, like I said, Bryan could have really done a lot of great work for the Lord. Man's very, very smart, very articulate. It's really truly sad because he really, really, truly could have done great work for the Lord. Instead, he chose to be one of Satan's puppets, and money is what's controlling him. Money is what motivates him, and he said that. You know, that if people stopped giving him money, that he was going to go back to the art world, which means he's not going to be a preacher anymore. He's not going to put sermons out anymore, and on and on and on. What does the Bible say about a rich man? That a rich man can't make it to heaven? That it's easier to fit a needle through the eye of a camel than for a rich man to make it to heaven? And Bryan Denlinger obviously don't understand that because he makes comments like, what do you guys think if you guys donate if somebody dies and they're a millionaire and they donate all that money to me, do you think I'm going to stop making videos? Well, yeah, of course Bryan would. But maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he'd still make a video here and there just to keep the income rolling in. But he wouldn't do like he does because he's doing it for money. But the whole point of that is he acts like he could still be saved if somebody left him $1 million and all this stuff. A rich man doesn't make it to heaven, Bryan. Period. Okay? So remember that when, it's all you care about is money. All you care about is having all these properties and having four-wheelers and having all these cars, and you want to low-key beg. And the way he begs is really not only cunning, but it's sophisticated. There's a way that he does it. It's very, very thought out. He doesn't just come right out and ask for money. He does it in other ways. Just like the whole thing where he claims that he doesn't make money off YouTube. Okay, it's all a scam. He makes money off Amazon, every other website. Okay, but he won't take money from Google. Like, give me a break. But he'll take money from Patreon, PayPal, Amazon, and on and on and on. He don't know where that money's coming from, and he certainly don't know who's buying his book off Amazon. He's accepting that money, and he came up with a price $9.99, which happens to be 666, and obviously with 9 being Satan's number and being the cultic number that it is, and just the whole thing of it. He says, "Oh, that was the suggested retail price." Give me a break, Bryan. Okay, if you're a Christian, you would say, you know what, I'm not going to use that number because I know what it means. I'll either put the book out at $10 even. I'll put it at $9.98. I'll put it at $9.97, $8.99, whatever. You don't do the occultic numbers. You don't do the occultic hand signs like he does and gestures, and then try to say, oh, well, I wasn't doing the occultic gestures because I'm a part of any fraternity or satanic organization. I was doing the gestures just to show you, so that way you know when you see them. Everybody knows what the satanic gestures are, Bryan. We don't need you going around parading them, throwing it in everybody's face. It's ridiculous. And again, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to make this video too long. But the point is, this man's, like I've shown before, spending his money on witchcraft material. This is all money that's given to him because he doesn't work. Remember, okay? This is money that's given to him. Bryan does not work. Okay? And it'd be one thing if Bryan worked a full-time job, like I do. And then on the weekends or something, hey, I'm going to make a video, or I'm going to try to have a prayer circle or something. This guy has nothing, okay? Nothing. He won't even invite you to his house. Why? Because he don't want you to know how he truly lives. Because why? Then you'll be able to expose him. That's why he doesn't meet with people. Okay, this man does not trust God. He doesn't trust in the Holy Spirit to protect him, or he wouldn't walk around with a gun on the side of his waist, okay? Someone that trusts the Lord to protect them, trusts the Lord to protect them. And they don't have to, run around carrying guns on the side of them, and he's proud about it, And then he clicks his clickbait videos, which is all makes his clickbait videos, I almost killed a man last night. Bull crap, like just ridiculous. But people believe it, and there'll be hundreds of people on there. Oh, brother Bryan, thank the Lord. Oh my God, thank the Lord. Oh, thank God. Oh, we're gonna say a prayer for you, brother. And it's a joke, and people can't see it. And it's truly sad because people lack discernment.